people, welcome to another video with your girl Sha-Von. Welcome back to Simply Sha-Von. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. In today's video, I am making dinner for my family. I'm making chicken thighs, baked potatoes, and of course some vegetables, but I'm also making a pound cake that I want to tell y'all about. Because I know y'all have seen me make the chicken and everything, but you have not seen me make a pound cake. This pound cake is going to be delicious. Now, I went back and forth on making a lemon pound cake or a regular pound cake, and I decided to go with just a regular pound cake to appease the masses. But personally, I would prefer the lemon pound cake. Anyway, you hear the kids in the background. Don't mind them. I'm going to quickly show you how I make this pound cake. It's very easy, but it is so moist, so delicious, and you can make it. If I can do it, you can do it. Now, a lot of people say they don't bake. But if I can do it, you can do it. We can all do it. We can give our family something delicious after a meal or just because, right? Just because. So beautiful people, the first thing I wanted to do was clean off the potatoes. At first I was like, should I make baked potatoes? Because these potatoes were not really big. They weren't. But the kids really wanted baked potatoes. And I was like, you know what? We're going to make this work. If they eat 2 of them, it's perfectly fine. So I cleaned the potatoes off really well. You see, I'm rinsing them off really good. And then I am going to not boil them, listen to me. Then I am going to poke holes in them with the fork. And then I'm going to add some butter on top. And I'm also going to season them, which I'll show you momentarily what type of seasoning I'm using. Now, you don't have to season your potatoes. You can just put some butter on them or oil. Usually I do avocado oil, but this time I wanted to do butter. Sometimes I just change my mind. And I do apologize for my smoke detector. The battery just went out. I mean, today, when I came back from the gym, the battery it just started beeping. So I'm going to go back out once the twins get home and get a new battery, just so you know. Anyway, I used onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of Italian seasoning, and everything but the bagel seasoning. And that's it. I think that was it. Yeah, that's it. Those were the seasonings. Onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of Italian seasoning, and everything but the bagel seasoning. And then you'll see at the end, I cut them open. I added some more butter to them. And the kids were like, I said, are y'all gonna put salt and pepper on your stuff? And they were like, no, Mom, you don't even need no salt and pepper on these potatoes. That's how good they were. They didn't add any additional salt and pepper. Delicious. So yeah, next time I'll buy the bigger potatoes so that we can bake those in the oven. But until then, we're just going to make it work. Okay. You got to make it work sometimes. Now, I did leave these in the oven for over an hour. Usually I leave them in for like an hour and 10 minutes, but it's totally up to you and how your oven cooks and how hot it gets and how low it gets, all of that good stuff. So of course, as I am cooking, I'm going to clean up my mess, which I do several times throughout this video because, you got to have a clean work area. So with the chicken, I'm doing chicken thighs. I'm going to cut up some green peppers and onions. Ayana was showing me her nails that she just did. So Ayana taught herself how to do nails. And then she taught G how to do them. And Ayana always does the twins and London's nails. But now G is like, I want to do the nails. So Gianni did Kinsley's nails. But they're having a ball doing nails, guys. They change up their nails like every couple days. They absolutely love it. I'm gonna have to show y'all. Ayana just went off to work, but I'm gonna try my best to remember to show you her nails tomorrow. And then Gianni, I'm gonna try my best to show you her nails and Kinsley's nails. Kate didn't want nails this time, and London didn't want nails this time. But yes, they all do their nails. They do each other's nails. It's really cute. So again, I'm cutting up the onion and the green pepper, and then I cleaned the chicken with the lemon. Okay, I cleaned the chicken really well, and then I'm going to season it momentarily. So here's where I made a mistake. I had that extra butter left from the potatoes, so I actually poured it on the chicken. Usually I just do my avocado oil and call it a day. But anyway, this time I didn't. And yeah, I wish I wouldn't have never added it. It was still delicious, but it just gave it way too much liquid in the pan as I was cooking the chicken in the oven. It gave it way too much liquid. Anyway, I added a garlic and pepper seasoning. I added a little bit of ranch, a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and just a tad bit, and I mean like maybe a teaspoon of Slap Your Mama. That's it. That's all I added to this chicken. And then I added the onions and green peppers on top, and I popped that in the oven for, it was in there for an hour. So here's what it looks like before I put it in. The kids were like, Mom, that looks so healthy. Oh my gosh. Little do they know that this is all flavor, baby. Flavor. Okay? Yes. So we're going to pop that in the oven real quick and let that stay in the oven for about an hour, a little over an hour. So while the chicken and the potatoes are in the oven, I am just tidying up the kitchen really quickly, and I am adding everything to the dishwasher that I can, and whatever I cannot, I'm going to wash by hand. I'm one of those people where I like to clean as I cook. I do not like to have a pile of dishes at the end when I'm done cooking, and I don't like for my kitchen to be a mess, believe it or not, even though with kids and with myself, sometimes it just is. It is what it is. But in the grand scheme of things, I like to clean and cook, okay? I like to start off with a clean kitchen. I like to end with a clean kitchen. So like I said, whatever doesn't fit, I'm going to wash by hand, and we're going to get that all taken care of. I'm actually going to wipe off the counter and stuff too, but I don't think I'll show you that in this video because y'all get the point. Clean as you cook. First thing you do is you set your oven to 350 degrees. I actually have the oven set right now because I have the baked potatoes and the chicken in the oven. I'm getting ready, I have two ovens, so I'm getting ready to start the second one so that, well, should I do the second one? No, it's fine. I'm gonna put the pound cake in as soon as the potatoes are done, so we'll be fine. But anyway, let's just get ready. So again, first thing you do is set your oven to 350 degrees. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my dry ingredients together. I'm gonna put them in this bowl, the dry ingredients, and then I will move on to the wet. But the first thing I wanna do is my dry ingredients. So I'm going to mix 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You can also do it in grams, but I'm just doing it in cups. It's just a little bit easier. And I'm gonna make sure that I use the exact measurement for the flour. I don't wanna use too much and I don't wanna use too little. So I'm making sure that it's packed in there. And here I am, and I'm just going to go across. So here's 1. Here's a 1/2 cup. Okay, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon, okay, of salt. All right, so I'm just gonna measure that.
Acceptance.
1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And that's just gonna help it puff up, but that is a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. There we go. Then I'm going to whisk all of that up. Just make sure that it's really well incorporated, mixed up together, not just in like clumps or sections, you know. And what you can also do is you can sift your flour as well. Some people do that. I didn't do that this time, but I have done that in the past. So that's all mixed up. All right, I'm gonna set that to the side. Next, all right, I'm gonna bring y'all over here so you can see what I'm doing with the mixer. So to my mixing bowl, I'm adding 1 cup or 226 grams of unsalted butter. And I'm just gonna throw that in there real quick. And you wanna make sure that your butter is room temperature. You don't want it ice cold, you don't want it too soft. You want it room temperature. Just take it out a couple hours before you wanna use it. To sweeten things up, I need 1 cup of sugar. And actually, I'm gonna do a little bit more than a cup, just a little bit more. So here's 1 cup of sugar, and then just a little bit more. I am scooping down the butter and mixing it with the sugar so that everything can be incorporated, because you know in a mixing bowl, sometimes it gets stuck at the bottom, and you want to make sure that you incorporate the butter and the sugar really well. And then we're going to mix it again. But I definitely wanted to make sure that this is being all mixed together and incorporated. Pure butter and sugar. All right, so let's crack the egg. I was going to do 5 eggs, but I'm only going to do 4, so I'll put that one back. Here's the 4 eggs. So I'm going to add the eggs in one at a time, and I did scrape down the bowl again because you got to keep scraping it down to make sure everything is incorporated, okay? And I'm actually going to Now it's super liquidy because of the eggs, but that's okay. I'm gonna scrape it down again, make sure that, again, everything is being incorporated. And it looks like some cottage cheese or something like that, but don't worry, once we add in the flour and everything, it's going to firm up. I'm going to do half a cup of sour cream as well. The flavor, it just helps it with the flavor, beautiful people. So we're going to do half a cup of sour cream. And you know sour cream is like weakly acidic. Like, you can also do Greek yogurt too. I didn't even think about that until just a minute ago, but that's okay. So we're going to do the sour cream, add that in here. When I tell you, it's gonna be so good. For some added flavor, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And this is a half a tablespoon, so 1. That's 1 tablespoon, and I'm adding 2. This is what it looks like. Can y'all see that? It looks crazy, I know. But it's time to add in the flour mixture. So we're gonna add this in. I'm not gonna whisk it too much because I don't want to over mix it. I'm going to let the mixer do it a little bit and then I'm gonna do the rest by hand, okay? I'm gonna scrape it down just to make sure I got everything. And then I'm going to let it mix for another couple seconds and then I'll do the rest by hand. Smells so good, okay? Smells so freaking good. So I'm gonna move this out the way. I'm gonna take this off. When I tell y'all this smells so good, just imagine how good it actually smells. It smells so good. It's like, yes. Okay. Now I have my pan right here. Just got some on there. Pan is right here. I am using the Pam baking spray. You can use butter and then do flour, do it that way, but I'm just using the Pam baking spray. This is actually 0 calories, even though it doesn't really matter to me. When you're baking a cake, I mean, you won't get all the calories anyway. There. And now we're going to scoop it in. Wait a minute. There. I mean to do that, but it's all good. I meant to do it up here. Now, as y'all can see, I am tapping it because I want to make sure that I get as many air pockets out as possible. Now this is ready to go in the oven. I'm going to clean up my mess and I'm going to check on the food right now. Beautiful people, my oldest daughter was over here as well. She was doing the twins' hair for me. So she had finished Kinsley. She was working on Cade. Y'all saw Cade a moment ago. And yeah, so everybody was here. We were just having us a good old time. And yeah, when I tell you they tore this food down, they tore it down. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to make the cornbread. I was so disappointed. But I was like, oh well. Now the pound cake was freaking delicious. I woke up the next morning and Kinsley was like, we were getting ourselves, you know, getting together so we can get out the door. And she was like, Mom, there's no more pound cake. And I said, I'm sorry, baby, they ate it. They must have ate it. She was like, oh my gosh, they eat everything. So then I made this little drizzle. It's just powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. And I put that on top and then I sprinkled powdered sugar on top. Like I told you, the kids tore this down. I told them next time I make it, I'm going to have some ice cream for them as well. But the next thing I'm going to make is probably going to be an upside down pineapple cake or something like that. I don't know, but we're going to make something good. I love y'all to the moon and back. Thank y'all for watching. Give me a cake emoji if you watched it to the end, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Mwah.